What's up guys, this is DJ and I'm back again with another episode where we'll be talking about FeiyuTech's Feiyu AK4500 3-axis DSLR gimbal. The past few years we've been seeing a huge rise in smartphone and DSLR gimbals. With almost all major video gear companies coming out with different gimbals of their own, we got our hands on the FeiyuTech AK4500, which is a DSLR gimbal. Previously, we tried their smartphone gimbal, which impressed us a lot, and hence, we gave this DSLR gimbal a shot. We've been using the Sony a7 III and a6500 with it, and here I am today sharing my experience with this gimbal. Now let's get into the features. The weight capacity of the AK4500 is 4.6 kg, meaning this gimbal not only supports popular mirrorless cameras but also bigger DSLR and even heavier cameras like the Canon C200. Generally, to equip a bigger camera with bigger lens, we need a heavier gimbal, making it harder to operate. But that is not the case with this gimbal. The gimbal is really well made, feels solid, and the materials used are high quality and the buttons are tactile. Balancing the gimbal takes a little time like any other gimbal. The axis is easy to adjust, and once you have done that right, the stabilization is perfect. Now, let's move on to the controls, which is one of the key features of this gimbal. You'll see a set of buttons and a joystick. We have mode button, on-off button, photo and video button, and this easy joystick to choose between modes or to rotate the camera. Videos and photos can be taken with these buttons if you can connect the camera to the gimbal via Wi-Fi. Additionally, you can also control the ISO, shutter speed, etc. right from the gimbal with this feature. Now, let's move on to the best part of this gimbal. It comes with an LCD screen. The first UI of the screen has options to choose from different modes. The screen is touch sensitive, so you can use it to change between modes, or you can also use mode button. But we prefer the touch screen because it is easier and super good. Plus, you can lock the touch screen to avoid accidental touch. The second UI screen also has awesome options. Just swipe to get there. The first feature is 360-degree movement, which you might have seen in Christopher Nolan's movie Inception. We tried to use the feature and the footages are great. You have options to rotate the camera on both clockwise and anti-clockwise direction, loop, or just one 360-degree movement. You can also change the speed. Second feature is the auto rotation. It is mostly used in taking time-lapse photos or videos. You can set the in and out point, duration, and other parameters, and rest is all on your creativity. Moving on, there's the selfie mode. When you choose that option, the camera rotates towards you. You can double press the same button to take your camera back to the normal position. You also have a portrait mode, but it only works when you lift the camera and put it on this position. The last page of the screen has different options like payload setting, photo setting, settings for the wheel, and the main settings. You can choose between different shooting modes. The sensitivity of the gimbal can be set here, and there are tons of other settings available for better shooting. If your camera is wobbling, you can fix the payload settings from the display, as you can see here. Now, let's move on to another awesome feature of this gimbal, the wheel. This wheel is used to control the camera, but not just one axis. If you press the dial gently, you can switch between the modes. Isn't that awesome? Moving on to the battery life, it is rated at 12 hours and we got more than 8-9 hours of usage, although this totally depends upon your operating needs. However, the battery life is fantastic. One thing I've noticed is the horizontal stabilizer does not block the camera screen, which makes things easier while shooting. But wait, remember the wheel? It has another awesome feature. You can turn this wheel into focus puller. The gimbal comes with cables which you can use to connect the camera with the gimbal. Also, in the package comes this motor unit that connects to the lens with the lens ring, or in our case, we already have ring on our lens. After connection, you can use the wheel to zoom in or zoom out, control focus, or change aperture. The gimbal comes with this additional remote control / handle which you can connect through Wi-Fi. You can use this remote to control movement of the camera and even the focus puller. The remote also serves as a handle for the gimbal, and it also gives comfort and more space to be creative for the gimbal operator. FeiyuTech also has an app which is super easy to connect, and you can use that app to control the features that we have mentioned already. So, to sum it all up, the AK4500 is a gimbal that has tons of features, extraordinary battery life, great build quality, and many nifty quirks that make this gimbal worth the buy.